Good afternoon, this is Mac Lacey. I am at the Travel South Showcase in Charleston, West Virginia. I'm speaking with Debbie Eaton, who is the Guest Services Manager at the National Corvette Museum. And Debbie, a couple of weeks ago, you kind of went to the top of the Google chart.
Yes,
you had a major event at the National Corvette Museum. Why don't you tell us about that?
Well, actually, we've added a new attraction. Early in the morning, about 5:45 on the 12th of February, the floor of our Sky Dome gave way and swallowed up 8 Corvettes, one-of-a-kind Corvettes. And
I mean, if it could have been, like, I don't know, Corvairs or something, but these are Corvettes.
This
right?
hurt.
Right.
This was very painful. There are cars in that hole that can never be replaced. And that being said, we've got a whole new adventure with not only retrieving those cars, but being able to see those restored.
Well, you really do have, as best I can tell. I've been walking around the showcase floor here for a couple of days. You got a pretty hot property back there. There are a lot of people who want to know what's happened at that facility, and there are a lot of people that want to come and see it.
This has been a worldwide event. We've had media and calls from all over the world, and a lot of people don't understand the whole concepts of sinkholes. And in that area, we're quite familiar with them. So it's not only talking about the Corvettes that are in there, the plans to retrieve them, but we're also doing a little education on sinkholes and
geology.
The formations.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, someone mentioned, it may have been you, mentioned that the vice president had said something about a Corvette. What was that?
The vice president was bragging on how fast his Corvette could go.
Right.
And that was just right before the sinkhole, and I think after the sinkhole fell in, they said he was tweeting about something like rest in peace Corvettes or something like that, but they're not resting.
Right.
They are resurrecting, or as we like to say, they're inspired from the ground up.
Well, a lot of times with a disaster, the president or vice president they'll visit the site of the disaster. So maybe Joe Biden will just fly in on the helicopter to make sure his Corvettes are okay. Yeah, that's cool.
So.
Yeah. Moving forward, what is the timeline? And first of all, I guess it's important to note that any groups or any visitors that want to come now, you're wide open.
Right.
Yeah.
We were closed one day, and that was to make sure that the place was safe. We've added a plexiglass wall now so that people can actually watch the recovery area and see how the cars are pulled out. But first, they have to start with making sure it's safe for those people who are going to recover the Corvettes. They're learning they're doing anchors to put lines so that they can actually rappel down in there should they have to. They have to do some bridging to allow some heavy equipment in there. There's some removal of some side panels so they can get the cranes in there, because they have to put a man on the end of the crane to lower him down in there.
Sure.
He will take the tires off and attach the mechanism, and they will bring those out, and they'll be able to watch that.
Yeah.
We've got cameras that are set up, closed circuit cameras, and then we also have time lapse cameras, so you can see what's done over a period of time very quickly.
And there's a great story here, really on the part of Chevrolet, the car company. They tell me
it was the very next day. They did a press conference and informed us that they felt like that nobody could restore those cars as well as they could. They had the people and the means to make new parts if they had to, because the oldest car is a 62.
Right.
So they have what they need to be able to do that. So they stepped up and volunteered to do that.
That's great.
We're thrilled.
And before we wrap, why don't we do a little bit in terms of geography for those who don't know? We're talking about Bowling Green, Kentucky, which is really right in the heart of the Mammoth Cave area,
exactly.
Right?
We're just minutes from the largest cave system in the world.
Right.
So it's not uncommon for us to have small sinkholes. Now, this is the first one I've ever heard of that was inside of a building.
Right. So if somebody wants to come to Bowling Green, and they can do the Corvette Museum, and they can do Mammoth Cave, and it sounds like a nice little package.
Right, and now as soon as these are taken out, we'll be doing a special exhibit with the Grade 8. Everybody's wanting to see them before they're restored.
Oh yeah.
So as soon as they get them out of the sinkhole, they will be on exhibit.
Well, it sounds like you all are making the most of this situation.
Trying.
Well, congratulations, and thanks for taking the time, Debbie, to be with us.
Thanks, Matt.